they can identify who's under.
Well, and when they come, when you check out a golf cart, you say, how many drivers you gonna have?
Yeah,
And then you give 5 wristbands. Or 3 wristbands. And you just do driver's license and insurance and each driver.
So y'all would be pulling people over that you didn't see the risk.
Probably what it would be, the wristband would be post contact. So we stop the golf cart for a violation. And then during the contact, we would check, like a driver's license. We don't have a driver's license until after.
But it's a little front end work on the registration part for you guys, but it's gonna probably help to mitigate those number of underage drivers, but for not uninsured, because you can tell, if they're not wearing that band and driving the vehicle,
So I mean,
subject to being pulled over.
so did y'all provide the wristband?
Well,
That's where I'm
what
going.
is they know it
Yes.
anyway. They just use it.
Okay, now, part of your registration. I mean, we had to raise registration fee. Well, I mean, you need to raise it by, think how many Scott needs, how many we need. But that's on that way, it's consistent across the board. It says, for instance, golf cart driver in 2022 or whatever.
So we don't need, people don't have to have liability insurance.
Most of your companies won't pay for an accident to begin with.
No, liability insurance for our insured drivers.
Yes, they need, if they're operating a motor vehicle under state law, they have
They
to
have to have liability. Collision. And if they,
Yeah, state minimum.
right,
statement.
so they have liability. So do we have a responsibility to make sure that the people that are gonna drive our golf carts know the rules, have seen it, have signed it, so that it protects us should somebody go out and have an accident with liability?
So having been in a monster lawsuit of $10 million,
Right.
that never came up in my lawsuit, not even a nanosecond. They didn't care.
Maybe we ought to let a representative of Thomas J. Henry.
Well, no, I mean, how about the insurance guy?
Yeah, that's.
My guy would be glad to come down.
I think it's litigated.
Yeah.
But
We'll get Heath down here, something like that.
I think you need somebody to litigate.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. That's a great idea, because
and you don't, you gotta pay them $250.
Yeah, it's worth
Bucks
it.
for a meeting.
I'll take care of it myself. These are good things going forward.
So I think the wristband idea is generally got traction.
Well, no, it has traction only if we want to change the rule to raise the driving age.
Well, I think you can do it for anybody.
You can do it for, we can keep driving age at 16, but then you have to have, when you register, that person, every person that's gonna drive that car must.
And a driver's license and
Insurance.
Yep. And if
So
there's
nothing stops Dad from taking this paper wristband and giving it to the phone.
there's nothing to stop it.
That's
Right,
right.
right. But other than
But this,
their personal.
And I just,
and most
this
people-
guy's worth 10,000 times worse now.
I mean, this is, so when you look at it, this is not gonna be a fix all to end all,
Yeah.
but it's going to,
It forces them to present the credentials.
yeah, your credentials, so then.
And it lets them think.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, this is not a toy.
Yep. Because right now they think it's a toy.
Absolutely. So babysitting apparatus
Yeah.
for a lot
But
of
we
people.
don't want that.
Right.
No.
So I think, Rick, you go ahead, or Cole, I think the wristband idea is something that we need to definitely consider.
I think this video that Brett's team is gonna work on is going to, it's not gonna solve it. It's gonna really get some traction, and it's not gonna get traction for a week or a month. But I think it's gonna really help when, of course, Steve's not here because he's in Vegas at a conference, but, he used to be an SDR guy, but, when you get the SDRs, I'll have that on the website, 4-day stage, guarantee all of them. That's gonna, we haven't had that out there yet. And it's gonna be neat. And then all of us on our website, you're talking like over a high website.
Everything we talked about, you're good with applying it across the
Yes.
board.
Yes.
One owner, one card, one,
So
everybody.
So if I have,
Rent a car.
so if I own a car,
Or ultimately.
You gotta wear a wristband to drive a cart.
Yep.
You own a cart.
Yep.
So that's,
so it's gonna fit your long wristband for your people that own a car. Well, that's one of the things we need to figure out. Because, because you've got to have, because we have to be real careful about saying, okay, it's good for the goose, but not the gander.
Well,
But we do
Yeah,
it
but-
differently
Yeah.
with registration.
But, and here's the difference, if I own a car and I let my nephew drive it, it's still mine.
right.
If I rent a car and I let my nephew drive it, maybe not.
And I was actually only thinking about
We just have a local sticker of the local.
owner renters.
Right.
But for that specific, you're right, if somebody owns short-term rental, has his own cart that he provides as a rental, same rules apply to them, everything would apply.
Yes, so,
I think it's just,
yes, I mean, so,
so it's gonna be a little bit,
well, we're gonna get some little,
we're here to figure out.
but as far as rentals, it's across whether you have one
The
STR,
level thing.
whether you have one STR or you have 300 golf carts. And whether that,
Only rentals or everything?
well, I don't know, that's what we're discussing, so, I mean,
I just want to make sure all the others.
They don't. I don't think they do.
Fee, let a local out.
Yeah.
That way you know it's local.
I-
Or
I
they get a
agree.
sticker, or they put a
Anybody that
sticker on
pays
that.
$50.
Yeah, for rent-
Yeah.
so what you can do is you can do it inverse, so let's say,
No, they can give us.
no, but,
PA 1, 2, 3, 4.
so let's say residents would have a pink background and
Yeah.
white letters and the,
Fortunately, they already ordered.
well, I know, so this is,
Yeah.
this is something that's down the road, I mean,
Yeah.
so, I
We got
mean,
3 meetings for this.
yeah.
It probably-
You look at March, April.
Right, but this is something we could codify now and say, okay, it's gonna take effect for January 20.
PA, letters PA, and then different four numbers.
But-
Well, so.
We allow that.
It's
Vanity.
different.
Yeah.
We have to pay more for.
You got to be pretty
So
low
if
with
you get two different colors,
Right.
I think it would probably be cheaper
Yeah.
or something than.
it. Like,
Well, I'm not really like the
thing.
state, they just give a little sticker that goes up the upper right hand corner when they renew it. Then we don't have to buy new license plates every year.
Yeah.
They register, they're
I
registered,
agree with that.
and then we'll just put a different.
What if local have to register their golf cart one?
Yeah,
You're gonna lose out a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, not.
How, in fact, how many locals do we
I don't
have?
know.
Well,
Probably not as much as you think. They're paying half the price, it's a lot less.
So you've got 3,000 local carts registered and about 2,000, no, or 2,500, 2,000.
No, not all the ones that are rental are local.
Remember how we used to have
have
the.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking, I'm thinking non-rental cars, non-rental, right? Got it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that has some browns there, so I think that's definitely.
I think the wristband thing, I'll do that, but I don't think the wristband thing's gonna fly. I think it's gonna turn into a kind of a little bit of a mess.
So I think the license plate ideal, I mean, could stop part of that issue.
I'm just, I mean, I have to ask about the wristband thing too. I mean, that's
Better
why
back
I said about the 21 years old age, like we're trying to make rules and enforce them that will help the police officers have better visual to pull these people over and ticket them. Because when we're drawing the line in the sand and becoming very firm and we're putting these rules on everyone for years and years to change our reputation here in the town, you know, like it's.
we're talking about stopping 14 and 15-year-olds driving down the beach right now. You can't tell it. Now, then it comes back to the 3 and 5-year-old, you know, you see a 10-year-old driving, you know, they're not 16,
Yeah,
but you see a 14-year-old driving, you don't know what they're from.
Let me throw this out there. I'm thinking out loud here, kind of like state park, you go in and you register your car for a state park, you know, so what if, again, you get an identifier, but it's driving, you check all their credentials, their insurance, and you write that on a wristband, have to remain with the vehicle for the rental period.
On the key.
I mean, something like that, and then when it's done, that way if they do get pulled over, all those names are on there. They have to be on there.
Card.
There's one van, one cart.
I'm not gonna lie, man, that is so much.
Yeah.
Information, you know what, I mean, like, I just think about like every day, 60 carts a day, we're writing down 300 numbers, we're typing in. Yeah, but when they pull someone over, they get a ticket, they get paid.
And then
You know
you
what I
get,
mean?
then
And
you
we're
get,
doing this to help, I'm not saying we're not gonna do things to help, you know what I mean, but like, that's a lot of.
you get a house that's got
We get like every day, like July 4th, how many names and information we put in the system? And then you have like 4-hour rentals. I mean, you're doing it again after 4 hours, you know what I mean? You're doing it again after 4 hours. What if electric goes out for 1 day? Our system is fresh, you know what I mean? We can't type all this information in, then we're like in the dark.
and again, and I look at it from the rate of how executable it is.
Well, that's the case, you're not gonna hand out 5 vans and 5 people.
Correct.
So
I mean, like, for example, I mean, we had a guy get a golf cart for 14 days, so he can wear a wristband for 14 days.
No, I think you had
Yeah.
one card,
Right.
you authorized 5 people to drive.
Right,
If somehow that information is just attached to that golf cart for
Yeah.
that information.
right.
What if you gave them the card, like they fill out everything, check it out, take it to the front of the
Well, same
window.
thing, it's gotta stay with the vehicle, like
Yeah.
building permit, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you're not typing it in.
Yeah.
You fill it out, then you validate the insurance on that, great, that has to remain with the vehicle at all times.
So like a handicap thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Because the big, to
That's
me,
now, that's actually got some teeth.
something that has some teeth. To me, the big takeaway is that you're forcing them to give credentials of all the people you're
Right,
gonna
that's
invite.
got some teeth.
Like, maybe it doesn't need to be with their information, maybe it's a universal tag hanger, because I'm just saying about, like, they use the same piece of paper, like 5,000 of them, it gets wet, it falls into the grass.
You give them a receipt
You
for
know,
the golf cart, right?
Right.
But the
When they
takeaway
went
is
to park,
they're showing you, they say it's lost, they, doesn't matter. They're now in their mind thinking, I've had to show all of these people, I can't give it to my 12-year-old.
Yes.
They're not listening.
I just don't, I think that mentally that's gonna help a lot, rather than.
It's got some teeth. Here's the way I would say I would do that. I would do that literally in a beta test with like 1 or 2 of us. And let us beta test that, because you're gonna find out some things in there. They're gonna find out some things in there that we're gonna have to learn from. If you just rip it off today, there's too much opportunity for it to get wrong.
So if we did that, so.
Yeah, and I'd be willing to,
Would you-
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
forget Dale, he's.
They'll do it.
But yeah, Dale will do a bigger business than anyway.
But I think during the winter months is a good time to do it.
Find a little, look, a handicap placard, but
I mean, honestly.
that's the logo on the front and then on the back of that line for me. Well, you don't want that sticker, I mean, who's peeling the sticker on and off each and every time?
give them part of the receipt when they pay for the golf cart, you give them a receipt anyway, right? It shows the cart's running to them. Just
Well, the
put it on that
receipt has, receipts are different from everybody's different systems around. Yeah, it's gotta be something your team.
Yeah, but if the name's on the back of the receipt.
Yeah, but if mom is driving it and doesn't have a receipt, yeah.
So you want, when somebody rents from us, they should all have liability and they should all know the rules.
You gotta get rid of that liability, Dale, you gotta remove the liability from the conversation at the
Right.
moment.
But doesn't chief want all motor vehicles driving the state of Texas to be the driver to be liability insured? And you want to remove the liability.
From your thought process, because mom, dad, and grandma and grandpa are driving,
They signed the
they
contract.
signed the contract.
I verified all their insurance and their driver's license, and they know the rules. Otherwise, all 5 people don't get to drive, because it's not a toll.
Right.
Yeah, you're opening up a can of worms, and I mean, you were going to chase customers out of the golf cart.
Well, no, they go rent from somebody that doesn't check insurance, driver's license.
Well, remember, it's gotta be a level playing field.
Yeah, when you go to Alamo Rental Park at the airport,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, who are your authorized drivers,
Right,
and their names are gonna be on the contract.
right,
And whose insurance gets provided?
Generally, the primary.
but if dad brings the family down to
Yeah.
4 grand for a week.
Right.
Dad has his insurance in the car, but grandma and grandpa wants to drive the golf cart once or twice.
Right.
They're not here and their insurance card is not. You're turning, you're putting in, I just know if I flew into Florida and got off a plane, I'd find that,
So do you?
I find that a little bit.
So how
I'd say.
many
You
people
just
turn
think about
around
it.
that come in, want to rent a golf cart, and when you say, I need your insurance, they will.
I don't
tell
even
you-
collect insurance.
No, they will tell you, they will tell me,
It doesn't pay for anything.
no, it's not about paying, it's about responsibility and accountability. And this not be a toy and you're allowed to go. We send so many people away, they drive up in their car, you say, I need your insurance, and I need your driver's license, and they will say, I don't have automobile insurance.
So you turn them, because
So I turn them away.
Right.
Because I've asked, and they have to get back in their car and hit our streets and go with insurance. We're not gonna rent. a vehicle.
We're not getting that.
But I don't want, hey, there's a red dot,
Yeah.
driver doesn't have insurance.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Stick a sticker on their car.
We insurance, because we ask for insurance, not because it's gonna pay if there's a lawsuit. But you're trying to rent to somebody who
Absolutely.
is responsible, who will take care of their family, their vehicle, other people, be respectful of our town, as opposed to people come in that, I don't have a driver's license, I don't have a. And.
Yeah,
But if we do that across the board, then
Bucks.
for everyone, then it's a level playing field for all rental companies.
That's what we do, we require
You
insurance.
do, but I mean, does
But.
does everyone?
I understand why,
Everyone knows.
no, but I understand why Scott says it doesn't matter, because when something happens bad and it's a golf
But
cart,
this is
we use this not
as a responsibility.
not to get money or to protect ourselves, because if something bad happens,
It's, yeah.
everybody's gonna get nailed and there is gonna be an issue. It's about saying, hey,
It's
Well,
responsible.
you're profiling it down to another level.
we're trying to get to the point of supporting, look, you gotta respect our town and these are our rules. You've gotta have auto insurance to drive our cart. So that will weed out the people who don't have certain credentials to go on our street. Now, does that stop them from doing something stupid or getting an accident? No, but it raises the account
The bar.
ability. I mean, there's a reason they don't have auto insurance.
Absolutely, and we all know what it is.
They couldn't afford $21 a month for whatever the insurance was.
But it seems like even though people, you have all this insurance and grandma and everybody. There's so many of them that still think when they go into that beach that those kids can drive that golf cart.
That's an enforcement thing.
Yeah.
We can only tell them the rules.
Right,
Who signed the
But I mean-
paper.
No, I don't have a problem if we both. we're gonna
When
start-
they'll watch the video, they'll know.
Yeah.
Only 30 seconds.
One of those speed talkers.
No, but as a,
Option
we
is,
should be able to put a lot of different options that at least get documented,
Yeah.
recorded. And if they can't be used this year, at least we have, hey, this was an idea, so that if we do have some problems, we can go back and go, 2 years ago, this was an option. And we could do it. The 12-year-old on the beach is just. I mean, it's an enforcement.
Yeah.
Because they're not 16, they didn't sign the contract, they don't have a driver's license. It was something that was completely done. We try to stop the problems at the time
sure.
we get our dollars to give to them. And we exchange to be proactive as opposed to reactive, and then you gotta enforce it at the lowest level is move it up high to the point of.
Corral on the beach. Yeah, so each time it happens, we can just say, yeah, that car's going to that, I think, so they can come pick it up.
I mean,
That's not gonna stop them from flipping it to their friends, staying in a house and going, but it forces us to be proactive and saying, these are the requirements when you come to Port A to ride, and we're serious about it. Otherwise, don't rent a car.
so out of this, I think we're talking that a small group, probably
And
Scott.
I never expect on liability to possibly never get a dime or something that happens.
So
That's why I have it.
So it sounds like out of this, Scott and Peyton will do a test for a few months. Are we doing the wristbands? No, I think that
Like a placard.
Yeah.
There's some kind of permit like.
Yeah.
And just,
And the carbon, they fill it out, they write all the name.
well, it's gonna be plastic, right? It's gonna be waterproof.
Yeah,
It's gonna be weatherproof.
reusable. Yeah. And you say, okay.
So it's gonna have to be like a handy placard.
Every car has a
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yes.
you need something that.
So this is only the names and the driver's license.
Or it's just even the name, why, I mean. it's
Or
just the
we're
name of the
only
license.
giving, I mean, that's why.
It's the names of the authorized drivers.
Yeah.
Authorized drivers and their driver's license.
Well, authorized the name will, they'll have to produce a driver's license, so you'll have a driver's license.
Yeah, I mean. When you start thinking through it, you start finding all the little,
Well, that's what I'm
bells and the whistles.
I'm just trying to keep it.
No, I'm with you, I think that's really something.
How about this? How about you text it or email it to the driver? And maybe an electronic copy. Doesn't have to carry any placard in the second.
Texting what? With what you have.
The list of authorized drivers,
But how do y'all see that?
Yeah.
because then we'll ask them when we stop them.
I mean, I just would like it to be some, beautiful world where it's so easy for y'all to spot these people. Because I was gonna suggest, like, honestly, I know there's not a lot of y'all. Why don't y'all ever do like checkpoints on them? Where you're just, I mean, not like crazy, but one cop there only controlling one side, like everyone drives by, shows their driver's
And I'll take this, smart ass comment. So I'll tell you, the damn old US Constitution always gives away to the police.
No, but I mean, honestly, like, there's not a lot of y'all, if you're at the beach for 2 hours a day in one spot and you're checking everyone's
But
driving.
it's better to, they can nail people all day long and actually take care of other business by roving.
They're
Yeah,
getting
they're
nailed.
still gonna catch those people, rather than being in one place,
Yeah.
not seeing anything else. They're moving and back and forth, to see everything.
Yeah. Yeah, 99% of the time that Blackberry will only do nothing.
Pretty much said it's gonna be post contact, it's gonna be after they've stopped.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully none of you guys-
Right. So that, at my point, if it is gonna be something you can visually have to catch, do a carbon, keep it simple, they fill it out. You keep a copy, they keep a copy, and it gets stuck somewhere, it's gotta be on the card.
Credit card size note that they can put in a wallet.
But that's not.
So I'm still confused, I'm Scott, I keep thinking, I'm trying to figure out how and what it works. You want, so
Here's how it works.
they come into my shop,
I see a golf cart driving down the road and it's overloaded.
right?
I make it, all right, it's on 361.
Correct.
I've got to stop. I make a contact form. First words out of my mouth is, let me see your driver's license and your golf cart contract.
Golf cart contract,
Or
Whatever,
or
whatever it is.
driver or whatever,
Right.
and
authorized driver.
tap the name.
Gotcha.
And
So
then they hand me the driver's license and I verify that it's on.
I guess it would be like the size of a business card, something like that. It would be the size of a business card, I guess.
You could probably put 30 days on that if you want.
She's probably right, so,
Go with it again, because there's nothing illegal about driving somebody not on contract.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
what we're
codify,
having videos though, because
we're gonna codify it and make it.
they would make that, they would make that.
so if you pulled them over and the person that you pulled over, it was not on, they didn't have it.
odds are they didn't show you their shirt, they may not have it.
So if dad has this in his wallet and doesn't give it to mom when mom goes to the.
Just like there's no sticker on the steering wheel, we'll issue them for not having the sticker.
So this thing needs to be passed through the party.
Or
just
give
like-
one to everybody that's on board the driver, let's get everybody.
Why not get one and keep it in the car?
Yeah.
So that's right.
You're right, yeah, exactly. No, you're absolutely right. It should stay in the car. I mean, this is thinking up the last 3 or 4 days, not a month.
So, all right, let's, I want Scott, you and Peyton to put your heads together, come up with some possible solutions to bring to the next meeting. Okay. So that way we're not discussing,
I think Scott came up with a good idea, though. I think that's probably got the best leg.
but let's keep moving on. But yeah, so I think I want you two to work together on some solutions. It can be more than one,
Yeah.
and then bring that back to the next meeting.
Authorized driver.
Yeah, indicator, something that. Yeah, at this point, we're saying.
Well, valid driver.
We're not making suggestions of pushing to 21.
At this point, I don't think so. I think right now we're just trying to,
Did we have some type of solution? I mean, I know we were gonna go over underage driving. And I feel like we got onto this placard thing, it's kind of a good idea, but I just, you know what I mean? I don't feel like it stops the underage driving unless they're pulled over, right? Because then it's, you know what I mean? And they have to be pulled over for reckless driving or,
But when you start asking them, they're at that deal, fill out this form,
yes,
I need everybody's driver's license.
yes. So we're using fear factor.
Well, I think.
We'll put them on notice that these
You
people
put
are
them on very
authorized,
clear notice.
Yes.
and if they're not on that card, they're not authorized.
Here's the ditch.
And if they get stopped, 500 smack.
So Dan, so here's the next question. So let's just, this is the perfect size of credit card, right? The size of credit card. Do we also have a copy of this, or is it just for dad, and the scare dad is just for dad? The
That would
renter.
be on your contract.
well, and that's something that you and Peyton would start.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I mean.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do what you need, yeah. So I don't want to discuss those nuances because I want you guys to come up with, talk about it, so we can move on.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
On what license?
so just underage,
Oh, on the license, your driver's license.
Like your business.
Right.
It goes on my license.
Tell you.
Right?
That's a pretty cool idea, but he's about to tell you something. Right?
What? No.
Can't deface the election.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
Can
there
they
you go.
just, like, everyone that registers gets a sticker that's on the back of their license? My wife, me, you show it to
But
them.
why not just put a sticker on the golf?
One sticker instead of five.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, that's what,
And make them do it, make the golf cart company put that sticker.
so that's what I'm saying, no, let's get this out of this meeting here, but that these two come up with some solutions to bring back. So underage drive. That was what we're originally talking about. Yes, this will help it. Are there any other thoughts on underage drive?
We plan to do a little video, and yeah,
Okay.
on the two topics, right, driving and 361.
Will it include like a young person being all around?
What is the fine now? What happens if somebody is underage driving on a golf cart?
It's all city ordinances are up to $500. That's the max.
Does it do anything with their ability to get a driver's license?
City ordinance violations don't show up on the driver's license.
Is it operating a motor vehicle on a Texas road?
For the parent.
Yeah, it depends on how the charges are filed. If it's filed as a city ordinance violation, there's no record outside the city of Port Lake.
Okay,
If it's filed as a state law violation, then it shows up on the driver's license.
when they get the driver's
But you give it
license.
to the parent, not the child.
Generally, we issue the citations to the parent for allowing them to, an unauthorized operator to operate the vehicle.
And
And
how
that
many
is,
of those,
that is a state law violation.
how many of those do we have?
15 months, and month.
That goes on the record. And that is,
With
No,
parent.
that's state law.
State law.
Yeah, go on the
Parent
parent.
record.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And that is $500.
Up to 5. Generally, the
Yeah.
judge, and generally these fines are somewhere in the 75 to $200. But realistically, what he finds, but the back one's up to 500.
So any other thoughts on underage?
Y'all can also talk to the judge. I mean, he's a city
Yeah.
employee also.
So
You can tell him that you all would support an increase in, and it's coming back on you, that y'all are increasing your liability, and you'd like to see him to raise his fine. He's an elected official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one, it says, how old do you have to be to rent a golf cart in Dallas? 21.
Well, we're
Yeah,
21 too.
There's several who do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all 21.
And again,
but it's 16.
Y'all are individual business. You don't have to have a state law to implement best practices. If you want to ask for a liability insurance card as a part of your business practice, you're more than welcome to do that.
You must
You're
be
21
21
or
in Dallas.
Or if you want to be 21, you can see the city there.
Because we see people,
Rent.
what happens.
All right, so let's get back on track here.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of the problem stems from the key being passed off to other people, all of the problems, right? That's a
Correct.
main issue. So even with the video that we're gonna create, how do we get that video in front of people who the keys are getting passed off? Like that doesn't.
Well, that video is gonna be on all websites for the SDRs, right? You know, 25 golf cart company's website.
Right, but if I'm,
It'll be
if
on,
my brother-in-law rents the golf cart, I'm not gonna go on the golf cart.
yeah, but your brother-in-law will see the video, so he'll know the
Right,
pattern.
and the brother-in-law is already signing the contract when he's picking up the golf
Right.
cart and being told the rules there.
Share it on Facebook, puts it on social.
Yeah,
media.
it's got-
Put it everywhere, get it out there.
I'm just trying to say that I thought that the problem stems from the key, the ability to just pass the keys off. that
You're
whoever
correct.
is in the house.
Right, when-
That's the problem that has to be solved.
So the video is what?
No.
He's
No,
saying
I'm just saying, I don't, the video is not gonna solve the problem. We'll do the video. We're
Yeah.
having this video. And I just wouldn't count on it solving that problem.
No, I mean,
You
but-
gotta figure out, I think the insurance requirement, if I go rent a car from Alamo. And my brother-in-law is on the trip with me, he's not gonna be able to drive that car because he's not an authorized driver and we're not gonna take that risk for him to drive that car. So I think you're on the right track. Talking about insurance and requiring authorized drivers only to be able to drive the car. I think that's,
But if-
you just gotta keep people from passing these off to their.
Well, that's been the problem for the last decade.
That's why the issue.
They're like-
They're never an authorized driver.
Yeah.
And it's all the same key anyway.
Right.
so the-
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let an underage person drive my rental car from Alamo. So what's the difference?
This
But
may
they
be-
do because the rental car on your driveway and your wife's friend says, I'm just gonna run a ID and get a loaf of bread.
That
Well, I know they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bothers me, let them get drive their enterprise. But
Yeah.
come down here.
Yeah.
Oh, that-
Yeah, we have to change.
Yeah.
What our expectations.
Exactly.
Respect it's not gonna fix it.
I think
day
that
one.
video is gonna get some legs. He's really gonna.
And the plan is, you guys to show that, to have.
Absolutely.
A computer. And
I would do a little DOT, I don't know if it'd be
Like QR code on the golf cart.
Oh,
It was great.
They were great.
It's just.
No, I mean, like, if you have a QR code that connects to the video, you're putting that on your golf cart. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, even, and that will attract more to your younger crowd, like they're gonna see that QR code, they're gonna do it. It doesn't have to say anything but watch this.
I mean, you can surprisingly customers tell us, hey, I read your rules on your website, or I went to the city web, they call and ask questions, a lot of them are really good. I mean,
That's why I think our response when I stopped with it is, well, I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
Google it, it's 90 or 54,000 responses in 7 tenths of a second.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do we have, maybe you guys want to charge us with redoing this for January 1, that has.
a couple of different changes to it,
Yeah, and you want to,
yeah.
and we respect their own home.
And I work with it, yeah.
I think it
should have
Can't be any bigger than that, so I try to make it, you know, you're maxed out.
That's a whole other separate work. We're gonna put ink and paper again. We need to have the one best shot and do it right. Yeah.
So why would we work on that?
Well, I mean, we talked about a little map on one side, you know, with the highway clearly marked.
Maybe that's right.
There's a lot of opportunity there. I'm saying, just don't, let's put.
Well, that's the sticker for the steering wheel sticker.
Right.
Yeah, so you're not putting a map on the back of it.
Well, put it on.
It's on, you put on the QR code, yeah.
Are they gonna change the color of that, you know? I heard that, you know, like, no driving on 361 south was gonna be in a different color, so it catches your eye.
I think you've got an opportunity to give a lot of
Yeah.
information on something that's attached to a golf cart, maybe not a sticker on it.
Multiple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want the map on.
They do the QR code, it can be 5 pages long. So
and they won't read anything that's 5 pages.
so you could have a map and you could have the rules on it.
You know, that may not be a bad idea, maybe a hanger that stays on the card as long as laminated glass on there. You know,
And that's not a half bad idea either, so,
You know, that hopefully lasts, you know.
we've done well with this.
So what do we
Yeah,
do?
We printed 3,000.
You figure
I
out
feel
a way
pretty good about
to
that.
attach that to the golf cart where it stays with the golf cart 100% of the time.
Right.
Somehow, and you can put so much information on it.
So why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Who would like to be the Brett and work on this?
We can just put it together, bring it back.
Okay, all right, so if there's anyone that has input, please,
It's kind of basic, so we went on it.
yeah, but QR code, so I mean, yeah, so let's make sure we got everything on there.
We needed, we'll need some changes on that. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Steve, on the electric bike.
yes.
You know, Scott, while we're talking about that, maybe if we after we clean this up. And you could email, or we could download this, every paid website, Steve, I mean, everybody's website has the rule that whoever does it, webmaster does it. I like the idea of this now, just opening up to the Port Aransas Police Department faceplate on my website, so it looks more official, more prominent, more, it's got some more girth.
I decided like you guys 3 weeks ago to make that happen.
Yeah, so make a few changes to this, and then you know what you can probably do on that, again, 1 page is the rule. Is can you move all this up and you can shrink this down? And they can open it up on, everybody's website has rules, and they open it up and they see the Port Aransas Police Department golf cart law, da, 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 da.
Well, if y'all talking about reports, I'll tell you one thing that we can do as a group that will have more impact than anything else. Every business that rents golf carts, if we contact you, after we contacted a violator, if you'll come pick up that cart and tear up the contract on the scene, the word will get out
Real quick.
really
Yeah.
fast.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, I think most of us are doing it, but it's half and half.
So,
Well, we don't call.
Yeah,
Whether it's any ticket that's over.
it's any violation.
Well, we come, I would say if they're underage drivers,
361,
if they're on 361.
Or maybe- or
let's
maybe
just
on
start
board.
with- Just start with those two.
and under,
Right, right in Low Beach, and they're gonna be, they're in the Low Beach, they're gonna hit the water, you don't want that either.
so I think there's probably about 5 things that we could do that would be automatic.
I would be happy with those two.
I think Scott's right. I mean, but
You guys-
We want the word
Yeah.
get out.
I can do it. I mean, where to do it?
But I mean, but-
Man, I call Scott's guys and tell them at 3 o'clock in the morning, tell them I'm leaving the cart on the beach while they doing the traffic, because I'm not getting a trailer at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't see the hotel. and they leave my car there and I can go to the next one.
Do that, we.
I did probably 8 times.
We have a little, I'm telling you, we just like for Santa, we bring a little golf cart for out there.
Or golf cart jail.
I mean.
Or buy 4 or 5 golf cart boots,
For that very reason.
and we just boot the tire
Oh, that's a good idea.
and leave the key and come get the key on the TV.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys call my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning, I know it, when my phone rings, I know you're calling. It's
Okay.
the police.
I'd rather you call us than just Woody. so I don't have to pay him.
Yeah,
It gets a little pricey.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not even the pricey, it's those rules of state law that I know that you have to follow for us to get a golf cart out of office. I mean, you gotta get rid before it's born.
Yeah, even if they just blocker cables, they can wrap around these things.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like, I think that that's the best way. I think that us finding people and y'all finding people, you know what I mean? And the fear that we can build with that is the best way to approach.
That here will make
It will
the
travel.
people that rent,
But
Make
it's not
sure-
fair to consequence.
but word gets out, and they're not gonna let everybody go drive it without knowing the rules.
You understand, you let your 12-year-old drive.
Yep.
And he gets stopped. You
Yep.
forfeit your
Yeah.
How much?
contract for the rest of the.
In general, how much is golf cart went up 5% wide in the last week?
In the last 3 years, they've
Right.
doubled,
And your rental.
doubled, and my rental's gone up $10.
But a
And
lot
my
of-
insurance is up probably 20.
So that asset is a whole lot more important than.
Yeah. I mean, do we think maybe
Value
possibly
life.
Yeah.
about like y'all putting signs on the beach, like no vehicles 50 feet from the water or 500?
We have.
We have, at that, all the entrances. Yeah, it says that.
It's not that the beach is not important, but I'm telling you, more signage at that on 361 from both A or Pioneer, no, A and G is more important, I think.
That's what we gotta be. Highlight.
Yep, yeah, so I mean, and getting into that, so.
All right, so let's move on to 361. So obviously, you've got a meeting with TechStop.
Right now, that tech dot, key guys out for a couple of weeks,
Okay,
1 more.
one more, okay.
This stage is something.
Okay, so that's pretty eminent then.
We'll get confirmation, stenciling on the sidewalk, that was something that they've acknowledged, but we want to get it.
Right. And then the
We
signage
don't
on
talk about signage.
the yard arms and stuff.
And that year we had that big one that whoever rented it, whoever, I guess TechStop paper, I felt that that big blinking 5x5 or 8x8 did a great job in front of CPS that summer. You know, so if it's, even if it's just from March 1st through Labor Day, that would be huge.
Or can they also make the fair rate?
And that's another, there's another one there too. Yeah. You know, but,
Well, that's some stuff that.
Well, I wonder if we could spring, you know, get the speed limit sign, well, that's one, get a go kart, so.
Good.
They're cheap.
Well,
$7,000.
no, but
No, we're talking about mobile.
so so it can be used for speed limit one time or we golf carts other
you
times.
can use it during Sandfest or some Sandfest activity or July 4th activity. But I mean,
Yeah.
but I think we rented one from March, you rented one from March 1st through Labor Day, there's your season. And that's the bulk of
I
the
mean, that's definitely not real.
Carts and highway.
That one that was in front of CVS that year.
Yeah, that one was
effective.
Can y'all,
Just, that's what it said, no carts on the highway.
can y'all not get any access to that gate? Don't y'all have the big sign out of 361?
They're text us.
Text that, do that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty. We can talk to that.
Maybe even on the ferry side too. I mean, if you had like, I mean, I know it's crazy, you're Aztec, you know what I mean? But if you put like no driving on 361 golf carts, like even if it just flat for a second, you know what I mean? If they caught every 1 out of 20 cars.
Well, we're gonna see our direct lives in Port Aransas.
Yeah.
For the district, so-
We'll definitely see if we can, it wouldn't, I don't think, it wouldn't be very valid on.
I mean, what about the Islander? The Islander has the big sign.
Right.
Talk to this guy, like no golf carts on 361, no underage drivers, no drinking and driving. Like if it ran once every hour, you know what I mean? And I mean, if they're.
Yeah, there you go. And I think private, you know, go to private citizens, probably not last. Not a bad one. Maybe a sign.
Or probably the nicest sign in town. Yeah.
Well, that's.
Everybody over their menu, no dog carts.
We got you back.
Sorry.
A lot of people want
I mean,
But we might be able to, we might be able to get tech side.
driving on the LB is an issue, but I think the 361 got way more. Way more, because that's where, you know, that's where someone gets hurt out there, it's, this thing comes. So,
I mean, I'd say speed coming in.
Yeah.
Or even going back in a regular vehicle.
I mean, I know Steve DeWitt's got some really cool infrastructure that he spent a lot of money on. And he is able to text to customers so much cool stuff now through his system. And that video, you know, Steve can put it into his, I know other companies are following him on this program that he's buying. And they can just shoot it now, not again, only if one person sees it, it's better than none. It's not gonna clean it, it's not gonna solve it, it's gonna help it. You know?
We just gotta, doing nothing's not an option. anymore.
Exactly.
Every step you guys are talking about, gotta be better.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is we gotta sell it to the tourists, as we're thinking about your health. I mean, we're thinking about your health. We're not here to do this in your weeds. We're here to make you safe.
But when you put your golf carts in with your rentals, like in the house or.
Yeah.
You make them come.
I make a
to the
shop
shop.
my store. I have
But
5
see,
condos that in my shop
A
to
lot
get
of
this speed.
people don't. I
Yeah.
think that's what a lot of
The
people.
problem though is gonna be, you know, probably, you guys want to be pushing with the, rental management companies to do it. Back into their own, you know, they have 2 houses, 2 personal cars.
Because I know, because when they added them to the condos at Trout Street, you know, they fill out all the contracts online and everything, and they get there and they like, where's this? And like, you signed the contract, it was all in there, you're supposed to read it all right. Tells them what the codes are, tells them this and that.
So let
But
me,
if they're not reading that just to get a code, they're not reading rules.
so let me tell you, so I had this lawsuit. I had a big time Austin attorney, I had Heath as my other attorney. I went into mediation, you know, all the mediators were there, and I won my lawsuit, I got dismissed, but as the meeting ended, I mentioned to my 2 attorneys, and that judge was there, he's a friendly person, I said, I'm thinking of going over to DocuSign. And they just looked at me and they said, hold on, and they all disappeared into Heath's little law library, and they all came out with the book, and they looked something up and said, the judge said, I'm gonna give you the best piece of advice in the world, and then he said, I won't be your attorney any longer, and then, of course, the other attorney said, I get $5,000 retainer. He said, if you go to DocuSign in your world, in Port Aransas's golf cart world, you're opening yourself up because they're just only signing with the arrows as the sign.
Right.
They're not gonna read anything. But if it's ice fishing in Michigan, it's gonna be great. They said, no one's gonna read anything in the DocuSign world.
And he's right.
And he was right, so I didn't go to DocuSign, I wanted to go to the iPad DocuSign product.
Well, that's a good.
And they just said it's never gonna hold up, because they're gonna say, I always check, I put my initials because they told me to. Doesn't mean they read it. So that's why we're requiring to come to our shop to read and sign, you know, and read and sign that, so.
They read everywhere that.
And no one, and you know, again, probably only 5% did.
Initial and all.
Yeah.
So. So in our the contracts, so it's a level playing field for all rental companies, whether you have an STR with a golf cart or you have 300 golf carts. What information do we want to mandate or require in the contracts that's not currently there?
Well, that's a pretty good question, because I think everybody's is all different.
All the rules of the city,
Right, that's obvious.
and then there are rules that different golf cart companies.
Right, so everyone's got their own nuances, but
What would be the ones we would want if we were able to?
It's
Yeah,
the
that-
ones on his letter. It's the one.
Yeah, but
on
Dale
his letter.
got one that's probably, how many pages? is
No,
it?
mine's one, but
what I'm trying to do.
mine's gonna be different because mine is no one under 21 drives this golf.
But what I'm saying is, so what is
The mandatory and then.
This is mandatory in every contract. Now, how it's, you know, like, let's say we, you know. The age, if you're doing something that's more restrictive, that's beautiful.
Right.
That, you know, but what information do we want in every contract? So it's a level playing field for everyone, so, you know. If it's not in Scott's, you know. Everyone has to have these specific items in their contract listed somehow.
It's, but the chief is.
Right, but is there any additional information that you,
I would like to see that a violation of this contract will result in the forfeiture of this contract, non-refundable.
That's,
So is that something we need?
If we all put it on there,
Why
then
don't,
we
why
could-
don't water?
Well, I think I'm sitting there thinking we've got council members here.
Well, that's, so
So
that's
probably on the
Why don't we
docket
come up
and
with a
assistant
bullet item?
manager to see.
because we need to codify this. I mean,
Well,
so,
I don't necessarily be codified, but at least,
No,
yeah, sure.
do a resolution that says. These are priority issues for the city of Port Aransas. We encourage the Port Aransas Police Department to impound vehicles for these specific violations.
but also take it a step further that all contracts, we don't care about the form and substitute contract, but every contract must have in some form or fashion, these bullet points.
These four or
And we're
five.
gonna have to get a copy.
Yeah, it should be on file when we register our plane.
And that's fine. I mean,
Absolutely.
but you guys still can have your own
Yeah.
contract, you know, and that's,
All
but,
your risk
but
management,
these things must be.
these are the 5 bullet points that should be in there. And then you tell us, I mean, if one of those, everybody's in agreement, one of us is the for sure deal, then we make it, I mean, if everybody's in agreement, that's what this group is for. You know, set the future bureau industry, you know, we agree, then that becomes one of the ones we'll give you. And so all the others, that we're part of this meeting, they're gonna follow the same rules, this has to be in your contract, you know. We want these golf cart, you know, or will impound them or something that gives very strong
So-
incentive
so-
for them to take the same tack, or we give the group that agrees to that a safe harbor.
So I think, so why don't you guys work on some, come up with some of that? Are we,
Lost your thoughts?
I mean, it's like, just like the question here, like y'all are giving us permission to, drive golf carts on the road and you can show us license plates, like. And if something ever happened, we're liable, maybe you're possible, be liable. I mean, maybe, you know what I mean, like the attorney. I mean,
Everybody's liable until some judge says you're not.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
We name
saying.
Everybody.
No, I mean, I'm just asking, I mean, it's. And maybe it has nothing to do with rules or anything, but I mean, should we have something in our, contracts, like really looking out for y'all, like that would, like waive any legal liability that y'all have?
city.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll get.
yeah.
We'll put one of the community for.
so I think the other thing we need to do is the insurance and driver's license, because I mean, it sounds like that's the direction that, you know, while we're not gonna have the card set up, but at least all, you need to collect all the driver's information. You know, so if it's 500 people, you need to start collecting that. Now,
That may be one of the bullet points, that all drivers must be,
So
all drivers with a golf cart must be verified.
if they lie,
if they lie, that's not.
Legal is a driver's license, not insurance.
well, no,
You can have a driver's license without having insurance.
but liability to
It
drive
doesn't
on
own a car.
a Texas motorway,
You have,
You need a driver's license to buy a car.
no. We need liability insurance to take a motor vehicle, golf cart, truck out on that street or no?
yes,
Yes.
Okay,
so this will become a requirement immediately across. the board.
making it responsible that they gotta present to us. These are the people who are allowed to drive the golf cart. Even that we say that, that gets their
Right.
bells moving. Now, they go back and somebody picks up the golf cart and starts driving
that's-
away, we at least
You've done your
got
portion.
more responsible people. We are probably not protected because they, whether they have liability insurance or not, what happens when they leave, but at least we're being proactive in saying, this is what it is. And if they said, well, I got 6 buddies, they may want to try. And you look at them and go, your insurance probably might not cover the 6 buddies if something bad happens. They will think and go, well, Johnny wants to drive. Johnny comes back and does it. The other guys, they don't care to drive. Just that thing does change it. It also gets your, I've heard the conversation of, well, no, I'm the only one driving because these guys are gonna be drinking. Because we're using it to go bar hopping. I'm glad I have yours, and I'm glad you told us about your friends. It helps in the being proactive. The people that don't have insurance, they gotta go someplace else, because we probably don't want them on.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, we wanted to make that as either codify it or, everyone.
All it is us telling them. As opposed to one person rents and you can have anybody go drive it.
I'm lost. Someone rents one of your, you used to have all those houses. So when someone rents a house, and they bring 10 people.
Yeah.
Grandma may not have a car any longer, but grandma has a driver's license. Can grandma drive the golf cart?
Didn't have insurance? No.
I mean, so driver's license, I agree with you, but they need to present, I would want a driver's license and a insurance certificate that name that name on it. Because here's what also you're gonna find out with vet you, that you'll find the 16 and 17-year-old have driver's license. Mom and dad just haven't bit the bullet,
Yeah.
paying that,
Correct.
tripling their insurance at that moment.
So that's gonna automatically start eliminating.
Yeah, all it's gonna do is tell
Now that's where the teeth is right there is it's gotta be everybody's
You gotta
tones
see it.
it down.
My kids are all, they don't buy insurance.
right.
Every car.
It costs with X, Y, Z, but not everybody has X, Y, Z. So yeah.
But so, I mean, so that's what I think we need to put in the rules and codify to make sure that it's a part.
And we make them sign the contract.
Right.
And the reason is why, the answer why is, are you gonna repeat all these rules to them?
We can do that with all.
Just now, you can make a copy and do it, and I have people text me their driver's license, text me their stuff, but I
Yeah,
have
where
them
you
sign
after 5 o'clock.
that they know. And the people that really want to drive will come back or will contact us. But the people that were just gonna go play with it, because Johnny rented it and off I go, so I'm
So,
gonna drive at night. It slowed that down.
so I think one of the things that, this just came into my brain here. So, what if, John's brother comes and he's not with them. He takes a picture of his ID and his insurance and emails it to you. Is that sufficient, you guys think?
It is sufficient providing you know where it goes to.
Yeah, we'll check.
Hey, everybody can send me a copy of your.
Right.
Driver's license and insurance.
And then I have to give them, but I have to give them a copy of the contract. Now, the hard part is, well,
Yeah, see-
when it comes to insurance or attorneys, they'll say, my insured never signed your contract. So
Exactly.
that's why we changed. And if they want to have 4 drivers, all 4 drivers are gonna sign because they will exclude the insurance and say, my insured was not covered by your.
So in reality, that is total bullshit. 'Cause that doesn't happen in Port Aransas, period, end of story. What? And said all 4 people have come and signed your contract. In a house full, in a
Well,
house.
no, but we will tell them.
Yeah, you're telling them, but I mean, Dale, and I love you. I'm telling you to get a house full of gas are all driving the golf cart, all that signed your contract.
But what I don't do is promote one person rented the golf cart. I don't even care about your insurance.
Right.
Everybody can drive,
Right?
because that's not,
Well, it's not who you are.
no, but it should be who our city is. If somebody rents it and you go do whatever you want to with it, because that creates
I
problems.
just don't know about the rate of execution.
I think for us, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, I think what we would simply want requirements to you is that every driver of the golf cart in the city of Port Aransas produces a valid driver's license and insurance. You, whether they sign your contract or not, I don't
Yeah,
think
that's up to you guys.
that,
Yeah.
So our requirement would be that they produce, because that way if they get pulled over.
Yeah.
How would we know?
Huh?
You won't.
You won't. You don't have a database for that.
But it's, I mean, down the road, that's something, this is.
But it triggers,
Yeah.
and I think it goes back where Dale has been doing this whole meeting.
Yes.
It triggered that part of that responsibility that now I am on notice.
Yeah,
that These are the 3 people that are authorized to drive. And if anybody else is driving,
yeah.
I accept responsibility for anything that happens to that car.
Well, that's what we tell them. I
Then
mean,
they filled out whatever it is, they filled out, here's the 5 drivers that have done those things. Again, we don't care whether they sign a contract.
But what I'm saying is, what if you put 5 names on there? And he doesn't really check it. How are we ever gonna know that?
You won't. I mean, it's just,
Right now,
So-
right
I
now.
mean, right now, you got a customer comes in and says, I want 2 golf carts. And now I'm the head honcho of the family, right? And he signs for both golf carts. And the first thing we tell him, hey, make sure you give this information to everybody. I'm not gone and got 8 or 9 people's signatures.
Right.
You're going to do that. And that's damn
I'm trying to
excellent.
help the city.
No, I get what you're saying,
People and-
but I mean, my God.
And not my pocketbook. And
Peyton, can you do that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I rent cars, I'm like very active, like I'm constantly trying, when I rent the cars to the parents and I see their little kids and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm trying to catch them. Yeah, but you know what I mean? I just think so hard, right? But yeah, if you have 8 renters, you get 8 renters. Well, we have 3, so like we're all, you know what I mean? So, and I don't like to rent,
I'll give you real life fishing tournaments. A company wants to reserve 3 golf carts. They call,
Right,
we take the rental down.
Right.
For 3 people, they pay. We tell them, look, you can't drive all these carts. When they come to pick them up,
we'll get through.
whoever's going to come rent, they're gonna sign a contract.
Yep.
They're gonna give us our driver's license and they're gonna be responsible, because sometimes the person in charge of the group isn't even here to
Correct.
pay for it. So the money, once the money changed hands, I'm more concerned about the safety of
I
my
am too.
cart and their behavior. So if
Correct.
people rent and a dad comes and gets it, the other dad, I need their paperwork, because there's no way this family's insurance covers that family.
Correct.
And they all have to be responsible and sign. So mine is not the, at that moment, is not the dollar I made money, I'm done.
Yeah, you're starting to
It's,
see it out.
I want my golf cart taken care of. I want them to have the rules, and I don't want anybody else to step in this golf cart without knowing the rules. That's what we tell them. And if that stops. Now, anybody can always go take a golf cart and go do whatever they want to. I can't do that, but I'm gonna be every. No,
No, I mean, seriously,
Oh,
though,
yeah, I
I mean, do you have issues with underage drivers? Do you have issues with?
Do you have to
wrecks?
read those parts?
I've never repoed
I mean, do you have,
hard.
Have you ever given anybody a strike?
you, you give it out strikes? But, I mean, you know what I mean? You take a lot of care. in
No,
doing
I
it.
don't
You have
think the
issues.
police, but it's gotta be a percentage of the golf carts. Yeah, if you have 1,000 golf carts.
Sure.
And you have 2, but no, I don't know that I've been contacted by the police with that. I know one of my guys rented one time a year ago and got stuck on 361. Came back to me, let a friend know. But I haven't had that because I'm being proactive and minimize.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's start wrapping this meeting up here, so, well, one of the things I want to make sure we're all on the same page, so we're gonna start working on some, ordinances. We're gonna require anyone who rents a golf cart, even if it's included with the rental, they're gonna have to have the insurance, just like you all have to have, correct? If we all agree with that. Yes, okay, all right, so I mean, because we're gonna start working on ordinances to bring to the council, so. So it makes a level playing, because everyone has to have the same insurance.
Proof of insurance.
Yeah, and it has to meet the, whatever you guys have to have.
It's liability, it's minimum liability.
There has to be somebody that is needed to go check.
Yeah. So I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, so the code.
Should be commercial.
Yeah, commercial. Yeah,
Those things aren't good.
And I think our market orders are, they should be.
Yes,
That's not fair to you guys.
yeah, because,
I'm
yeah,
fine.
no, I mean, we need to make a level field, if you're making money off that golf cart, even if it's included free with your rental. You're making money off.
Are you gonna require them to have a contract with the same?
Yes,
site?
yes, yeah,
So,
yeah,
I think that's
absolutely,
perfectly fine.
absolutely. This is,
Maybe we come up with
Yeah, I mean, something for them to use, yeah, that they
if
can
they don't
use.
want to create. their
Well,
own.
I mean, if they don't want to pay to have their own creative.
but yeah, so I mean, so I want to make sure, because we're gonna start.
So, and then again, we're gonna require every driver, renter,
Valid driver's license and
driver,
valid insurance.
you guys are gonna. collect
Sounds like some are and some aren't, I'm not, but we will start. It's just a copy. Just a copy.
You don't get their insurance ever.
Because because I've gone through this hell, my contract says 3 important things. If you damage the cart, you pay for any damage.
Right.
If you harm anybody, you waive me from the liability
Right.
credit,
Yep.
including future lawsuits.
Right.
So I don't need your insurance now,
Okay,
because you've taken me out of it
Okay.
once you went.
Right. but for you to give a contract, receive money to put somebody out on a Texas
Road,
road.
I am not checking their insurance.
You have your own insurance.
I haven't done that
No,
in
no, no.
close to 10 years.
No, but the insurance of the driver, not for the value of
No, the
car.
insurance of the driver.
So you
I
would
have not
rent,
collected their
you
copy
would
of their
rent
all.
to uninsured drivers.
Well, I may
Well, you
have
don't
over the
know.
years, but I don't know. I assume when they drive up in their $80,000 Mercedes, that it's got insurance.
They don't.
It might not.
Please don't.
It might be
Throw it away.
It might have paid cash.
If they take one of your cars and drive it to the double door. About $4,000 damage, that's on them, right?
It's on them.
The city would like to know they have.
Exactly. Right, that's right.
So
So,
I've always.
That's why.
paid it.
What I do is-
That's our justification.
I'm more anal about a credit card versus a debit card.
but that's something that you all, that's, we're not gonna get into.
Yeah.
But
So debit card is a checking account with potentially $1.
Right.
So. Our next meeting is,
I thought we were supposed to.
so.
I'll wait it some, not all.
Yeah, the ninth, so next meeting, guys,
That's a lot.
Because that people are moving away from credit.
so our next meeting is November.
Yeah, but
Hey, hey,
Everybody, let's not, hey,
hey,
next meeting is November 9th, same time, same place. So Scott and Peyton are gonna work on some
Yep.
ideas.
Yeah.
And please bring those back. We'll begin, can you bring a mock-up possibly by then? The sticker and then all, anything else, so we can start making sure it has all the correct information on it. Is that possible? Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. Maybe it's the story. Yeah, and then,
Marie and Evelyn.
hey, yes, three of them over, and then Rick, myself, Chief and Nicole will start working on some ordinances, that we're gonna get now, so. So, all right, meeting adjourned, thank you all. I think it's,
Thank you guys. Make sure everybody signs in. So, okay, so that was kind of, so. You only have one card.
You could get, you could hang it on your homeowner.
No, you have one card.
Right.
You win it, still need.
If I was attaching it to a rental, because it's a commercial application.
Our ordinance makes it very clear that you're an individual, an individual with a card that holds out for rent
Yeah,
is a rental business.
it's a rental